These are mesh footprints made specifically for Coleman's range of Instant Up tents. I'm going to tell you all about them.
Hit it.
G'day folks, Ben from Snowy's here today. I've got in front of me a range of mesh ground sheets that Coleman have produced specifically for their range of Instant Up tents. So where previously we've used just whatever or best size ground sheet or tarp we can to fit underneath the Instant Up tents, these are made specifically to fit the footprint of the Instant Up tents. Now there's one for each size in their range at the moment. So there's a 4P, a 6P, an 8P, there's also a 10P and right up to the 10P North Star. So one for each size. Now, for the most part, these fit just the footprint of the tent, not including the vestibule at the front. So just where the ground sheet or where the actual floor of the tent is, it sits underneath that. The only exception to that is the 4P and the 6P, which has a little bit of an extra bit at the front just to cover the vestibule on the base 4P and 6P versions, but it doesn't cover the extended vestibule in the 4P extended versions. I'll fold this out shortly and show you what I mean by that. Starting with what you get in the bag, so it comes in a little zip bag like this, and you get obviously the ground sheet inside, and you also get just a few pegs to be able to peg it down tightly to the ground, and a little bit of warranty information in there. Now this is the ground sheet as it looks, so it's a mesh. So this is the sort of mesh that if you put it on the beach, if you set it up on the beach and use it as a ground sheet, the sand sort of falls through and it maintains sort of a clean surface on top of the ground sheet. Not so prevalent when you're using it underneath the tent because it's really just to protect the floor of the tent, but if you did want to use it as a ground sheet, it's going to be quite effective like that, just in a dining area or just as a day area for a picnic as well. Now it's a polyethylene mesh and the corners have a brass eyelet and is reinforced with 420 denier polyester, and all of the spots where there's a brass eyelet feature that reinforcing, and there's just a lightweight binding around the edge there. Now I'll just fold this out to show you what I mean by the angled bit at the front. Now the back of the ground sheet here will be square, so this is the rear. So spread this out this way, and then as we move forward we can see there is a seam in the middle here where there is a seam that it's sewn together. There's a binding over the top of that, and then as we move towards the fronts of the ground sheet here, we can see we've got these angled sort of corners here. Now this is where the ground sheet will come into the vestibule of the tent. So the 4P and the 6P, which are square tents, will be square at the back here, and the inner tent will finish at these eyelets here and cut across the front here, and then this will extend about 60 centimeters out the front of the tent. For the base 4P and 6P versions, that will cover where the fly sheet will come down to the front of the tent. But the Instant Up tents that have the extended vestibule, this won't cover all of that space. It will just come out and create sort of a bit of a doormat, I suppose, before you step into the tent. And then when you go to the 10P or the 8P, the other versions, it purely covers just where the floor of the inner tent meets the ground. So we've finally got ground sheets that match the whole range of Instant Up tents perfectly. There's no more mixing and matching different size tarps to fit underneath there or having to fold edges up so that it suits. These guys fit perfectly underneath the footprint of the floor of your Instant Up tent. You can grab online at snowys.com.au at our lowest prices every day. If you've got any questions though, let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel for all of our latest and greatest information, or check out some other videos like this one down here.